Welcome, everybody, to the WBBM Food Fight, a Thanksgiving side dish bracket coming at you for the 2023 holiday season. We're gearing up, folks, and we are ready. I'm Mike Tish, your host. I'm a digital content producer here with WBBM. I'm joined by Arielle Raveney. The French pronunciation on Raveney. Arielle is a podcast producer here at WBBM, and then we've also got Chris Lopez, a production coordinator for the newsroom.
Happy to be here.
Let's do it.
Hungry and happy.
All right. Well, it's the selection show.
Yep.
We've got 16 delicious side dishes, some more so than others.
Asterisk on delicious.
And we've got to figure out how to put them in for a bracket. And, well, without further ado, I guess here's how it'll go down. We're each of us going to bring up our own personal rankings. Mm-hmm. You know, that's in the interest of transparency. I think a lot of these selection shows, you never know what allegiances somebody might have to a food dish or some university or anything like that. And, you know, so for us to just kind of share that, that's a good way to start. Then we will debate and live stream the actual selection of the seating of this bracket. So you guys are going to get to find out as we do. And then we'll go through with some predictions. Look, it's been a hard season, and this is the championship. This is what all the side dishes come for. So without further ado, I will start us off.
Let's do it.
I'm a middle child. I have to go first. I'm sorry. It's just.
Well, I'm also a middle child, so should we go at the same time?
No. I'll go first. It's okay.
No.
All right, so we'll start with our 16th, and look, we'll get into the nitty gritty on some of these side dishes a little bit later on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so just quick hits on this one.
Quick.
My 16th barely made it, cream corn, and I think that is I think that's deserved.
Okay.
Cream corn, then 15 broccoli casserole. Then I've got candied yams at 14. All these three, they're in my I'm not even going for it tier.
Okay.
I'm just not. I'm sorry. And
so are we going all the way up to 1?
Yes. So Mike's about to go all the way to 1.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Carry on.
And then in 13, I've got rolls. 12, I've got cranberry sauce. 11, I've got gravy. All of these need something else.
Where did you have rolls again?
I got rolls at 13.
You have rolls.
I got rolls at 13.
You had cranberry sauce at what?
I have cranberry sauce at 12, and I have gravy at 11.
This is her season.
So before you continue, you have cranberry sauce over rolls.
I have cranberry sauce over rolls.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
That's fine.
Please.
And listen, they all need something else.
Sure.
You know, if we really want to get down to it, they do. So, all right, at 10, I've got collard greens, 9, glazed carrots, 8, roasted squash. Listen, these are side dishes that you're going up and getting in the first round of setting your plate, and probably I'm forgetting about them later on.
Okay, sure.
7, I've got cornbread. The superior bread in terms of cornbread versus dinner rolls.
Okay.
It's cornbread. And then I've got green bean casserole at 6. Ooh. I've got sweet potato casserole at 5, and I've got Brussels sprouts at 4.
That's high on the list.
I'm getting seconds on all of those.
I'm reserving all my thoughts until I get to my list.
I've got mac and cheese at 3, mashed potatoes at 2, and number 1, stuffing. Dressing, stuffing, whatever you want to call it, that's number 1 for me.
Okay.
So, listen, I'm happy to defend that list. I thought critically about that. Okay. And we're gonna go to Arielle, the other middle child.
All right. Yes, Arielle.
Okay, y'all aren't gonna like this. So here's the thing: starting out cold is the broccoli casserole, because for some reason the casserole's always cold. Every time you go up to the casserole, she's cold and she's unseasoned, and that's where she belongs at 16. Then we got green bean casserole. She's always a little wet. Maybe it's the way my aunt makes it, but it's not it either. And then 14, we got cream corn. Because, you know, I actually don't hate the thought of cream corn. I don't like the thought of cream corn on my Thanksgiving plate because it's going to get everywhere. Okay. You know, because like the second you put cream corn down, you got it in your taters. You got it in your turkey. And we have Brussels sprouts at 13 because she's giving protein, but also an overpowering flavor. I don't know. Like, I'll probably, if I'm not eating turkey that year, I'm going to be eating Brussels sprouts at some point so I can get my protein in. Then I can eat a lot more of everything else.
There's an obligation with Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, that's why she's so low on the list. Yeah, there's an obligation.
Okay.
You know, like give her a handshake. And then 12 is glazed carrots. And I would also like to argue glazed carrots to me does not feel like the most traditional Thanksgiving side dish. But I don't hate it being there. I don't hate it being there.
Sure.
11 candied yams, 10 collard greens. We got 9 roasted squash. I put gravy at 8 because it depends who makes the gravy that year. You know, like, is it a white gravy? Is it a brown gravy? Are you using the gizzards? You know, who's in there chefing it up?
Sure.
7 cornbread, 6 rolls. And the only reason I put rolls above cornbread is because I've actually never had cornbread at Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yeah, which is surprising because I'm like from Texas. And like I'm going to go to Georgia for Thanksgiving, but it's like, I guess we're a roll family. But you know,
Chris, that's the first Texas drop. I think we're about 5 minutes in or so. We got a Texas drop. So all right, one's whoever had that one keeping score at home.
A PSA for the people. Just keep in mind, my Thanksgiving is going to be a lot more seasoned than yours.
Okay. Okay.
Then we got 5 being mashed potatoes, 4 being sweet potato casserole because you know Mama's only bringing that out once a year. It's given, you know, there's the marshmallows on top, there's the pecans on top. I got 3 stuffing. Or dressing, depending if you put up the turkey or not.
Sure.
And this is going to be my most controversial opinion, but here it is. I have second being cranberry sauce. Because I hear what you said, Mike. And you said it needs to go with something else, and I'll tell you what it needs to go with. It needs to go with Thanksgiving, because it's her holiday. Okay? Cranberry sauce is the moment. Any bite I'm taking on that plate that day, cranberry sauce is going to be there. And that's my opinion. That's my opinion!
Okay. And number 1.
All right.
And number 1, I got macaroni. I'm sorry, I take it back.
All right, that's the one.
My
That's
number
your
one
one.
is macaroni because it's homemade. I don't know, it's like
Almost everything here is homemade.
okay.
I don't know who's picking up mashed potatoes from Popeyes
Here's the thing.
before they come through. Now I've done the
done it.
Popeyes
I've done
turkey.
it.
How often do you make macaroni all year? Are you making that? You're making it homemade every year.
Mac and cheese?
You're in your kitchen whipping up a roux.
How else?
Whipping up some breadcrumbs.
Well, you can go craft mac and cheese as a different way,
like
but
a Velveeta or
like
something?
Velveeta,
often enough. But listen, this also gets to another thing here that applies to several dishes. I do not look at their performance elsewhere in the season as to how I rank them in the championship, which I consider to be Thanksgiving.
That's valid.
Okay,
I mean,
mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, these are great dishes all year round. That doesn't mean they get punished during the playoffs.
But that's
I agree.
Not fair.
Doesn't.
I disagree because here's the thing: you have been benching cranberry sauce all season. You're only bringing her out for this holiday, and
That's valid.
And it's her one time to perform.
That's
and you're not going to
valid.
give her that chance?
I know I'm giving cranberry sauce a chance, but I'm not asking it to do too much. The cranberry sauce is coming off the bench and raining threes.
No.
Okay? That's
No.
what cranberry sauce is doing. So we're gonna be here all day. We gotta.
I
So you
love
had mac and
this.
cheese 1.
I got mac and cheese 1, cranberry sauce 2, stuffing 3.
Incredible. So the real list right here, right now. Okay, so I got. Oh yeah, I almost gave off my 1. 16. We're starting 16.
Is it cranberry sauce?
So 16 roasted squash off rip. 15 candied yams. 14 glazed carrots.
Yeah. What does that do in there?
Right. 13. Here we go. Cranberry sauce.
Y'all are haters.
Yep.
What do you
This is
mean
not-
I'm a
this is
hater?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Carry on. It's an unfair fight from the
It was
beginning.
lower initially. I had some cranberry sauce-ish recently.
Yeah.
Like a week and a half ago.
We'll get to cranberry sauce.
And
we'll get
that's why
to
it's
that
a
conversation.
little bit higher.
Yeah, and I finished
So
it
let's
for
see.
you.
12 Brussels sprouts. 11 cream corn. Don't look at me like don't shake your head, Mike. Don't.
That's fine. Do
Don't.
your thing.
And then we got number 10, sweet potato casserole. I was dunking on sweet potatoes for a while now. They're not the worst. I don't hate it. Right. Now we're getting to the stuff that I really, really enjoy. Mike, you're out here talking about tearing your stuff out. This is all stuff. Oh, yeah. I'll try to find a place for it on my plate. All right. Number 9, broccoli casserole. Heck yeah. Give me some of that and more. 8, collard greens. Number 7, green bean casserole. Newer green bean guy here. 6, cornbread. 5,
Yeah.
rolls. Now, Mike, I saw you talking about how rolls need something. You're right. Rolls do need other things, but also Thanksgiving needs rolls.
Yeah.
Fair.
4, mac and cheese. 3, gravy. 2, dressing / stuffing. Number 1, the unanimous number 1 in my eyes is mashed potatoes. when you think of Thanksgiving without the, your hams, your turkeys, your bigger birds, whatever, it's mashed potatoes. That's the quintessential Thanksgiving side.
Mashed potatoes is big. Mashed potatoes is big. I mean, look, we did our best to put together the 16 most deserving side dishes in this Thanksgiving bracket. So there's going to be good options that are down, that are low.
Yeah, there's some
in the 8 or 9. I mean, look, the only things here that I'm not going for are 15, 14, 15, and 16 on my list. Those are the only things that I'm just leaving. I mean, because generally there's something I like better than that.
There's something to think about too. Is how long is y'all's Thanksgivings? Like, are we how long are we keeping the food out? Like, are we here for like 2-3 hours?
When the food comes out, it mostly stays out. I mean, it's and look, I mean, like, it's not out of the question. We have dessert pretty ready to go after the food gets taken away, but it's out for a while. Like, out long enough for people to, there's always also that game of a little bit of musical chairs where people just start moving around and sitting at different parts of the table because people get up and check on the football game or check on stuff like that. And it's like the food is out there for a long time.
No, I guess my point is I would probably try at some point everything then.
That makes one of us.
So
if I don't like it, I don't like it. And so I agree with Mike. 14, 15, 16. No.
Yeah.
Just no.
Well, yeah. I mean,
respectfully.
Yeah. Respectfully. I mean, respectfully. Grandma's cooking, or you're not gonna be out here like.
It's not my speed. It's not my speed. It's not for Chris.
So, all right, we got to get to the actual selection now. This is the seating for the bracket that'll be live on WBBM's socials, on the website, and readers, viewers, everybody is going to be voting on this the week before Thanksgiving. So that's what we're seating right now. And I look, I think creamed corn, if I'm not mistaken, we all had relatively low. Or Chris, you had creamed corn.
I had it at 11, but I'm not married to that.
You're not married to that.
Once we get into the top 10, that's how I'll start really arguing for things.
Here's what I'll say about just any in my bottom 3. These are all things that I'm either leaving alone or I'm going for other versions of other side dishes that I think do the same thing better.
Sure.
Like broccoli casserole is a less good version than green bean casserole, in my opinion.
Yeah,
they're both green casseroles, but you get green bean casserole with the crispy French onion on
I
top,
would even argue that with the glazed carrots, because here's my thing. I do think we need to keep in mind the rest of the year. Because you can have glazed carrots with your, I don't know, your steak on like a regular Friday night.
Yeah.
But like, if we're going to go for glazed food, it's the sweet potatoes and it's the yams that I think should take precedent.
Yes, for me, the yams I feel are closest to the sweet potatoes, and I feel like carrots is a little bit different. But look, I mean, I'm just thinking glazed carrots, a little bit of goat cheese on there, some nuts sprinkled up on top. Like that is a good dish.
But that's not a traditional Thanksgiving side dish. We talked about this before, Mike.
We've
shout out Mike's wife.
We were
who makes it every year.
We were talking about the initial what should be on here, and we got the newsroom's POV on this. Like this isn't just the 3 of us picking things. It was a multitude of folks who had their hands all over this. And there were some top conversations of like, culturally, what do you put on yours? Because the 3 of us have 3 different backgrounds. So of course we're going to have 3 different things at Thanksgiving.
No, we're not going to get everything on there. There's just no way.
There's so much.
But we got to focus on what we're putting at 16.
Exactly. At 16, are you married to cream corn at the bottom?
Cream corn should be, in my mind, no higher than 14.
Where'd you put cream corn at?
I put cream corn at 14. Because like, I'll get a little spoon.
Give me your bottom 3 again.
Cream corn, green bean casserole, and broccoli casserole.
Oh, we had both. You have 2 casseroles in the bottom.
I'm sorry.
I have one casserole in the bottom. Oh, that's unfortunate.
All 3 casseroles made my top 10.
What an indictment of Texas cooking.
All 3 casseroles made my top 10. All 3 of them.
No.
So
what? Casseroles? I don't know. I'm just, I think casseroles are different up here. Down there we're gonna be outside probably for Thanksgiving. Like we can cook different food and eat it differently. Like I don't need to be in the kitchen making a casserole for 5 hours.
To assemble this top 16, I say we start from top to bottom. I think it'd be easier to start from top to bottom. No, it's not.
I disagree. I think the conversations are only going to get more heated as we go up.
Well,
So,
I mean, I thought we all had a relatively similar top 3.
We had a similar top 10.
No, I think we gotta go bottom up because I just think I think we gotta go bottom up because we gotta take care of these. We gotta get these out of the way so that we can talk about the good stuff.
Okay.
Look,
I always like to make it clear that I like green beans, and that if you
that's
don't put it in a casserole, they'd be good.
Okay.
I just want people to know that.
That's my 7.
Listen, Chris, let's do this. Let's have one of each of our bottom 3 fill out the bottom 3. How about that?
Sure.
All right.
Fair. That's fair.
I'm sticking with cream corn.
Okay, Arielle.
I'm fine with that. You know, I'm gonna do broccoli casserole.
Okay.
Fine. Can I get?
Well, what did you like better?
Can I get carrots down at the bottom?
Yeah, we can do.
that's
You guys have both
Carrots
poo-pooed
at
carrots.
16.
Actually, no. I could do Brussels sprouts instead of.
How about?
Well, he had Brussels sprouts.
No,
high.
I would say Brussels sprouts have got to be above 14. How about glazed carrots? Look, you guys want to put them at 16?
Yeah,
That's
You want
fine.
glazed carrots at 16?
Yes.
I think it's fine.
Okay, so we got glazed carrots at 16. I'm gonna say because broccoli casserole was so high for Chris, that should be 14.
I had it at 9. Oh, that's
Yeah,
stinks.
so
Well,
let's
my
do.
thing is that it's like I feel like the casseroles are what the person makes every year who's like you're like, oh, thanks so much for bringing this. And
I'm gonna eat
you
it.
try
Chris will eat it.
Well, see,
Oh.
that's why I think we
Invite
would all
Chris to
balance
Thanksgiving,
each
I'll
other's
eat that stuff.
Thanksgivings really well and be able to.
And then you had cream
get a lot
corn,
of
Mike.
Yeah, let's
And
do
that's
cream.
a
Let's do
comfortable
cream
15.
corn
That's
15.
a very comfortable.
And then
15 for me.
let's do broccoli casserole at 14. Listen, Chris, I feel your pain. I love those glazed carrots. I go for those so quickly, but you know, maybe there's a reason that that's generally available. Is, you know,
If I'm at a
Right.
Thanksgiving and I see glazed carrots, I'm like, and on to the
No,
next
see,
thing.
because the thing is that it's not that they're bad. It's just like there's so
Sure.
much more unique
None of this
stuff.
is
there's
bad.
no.
Yeah,
We gotta,
none of
yeah.
it's bad. It's just like there's so many
Yeah.
more unique stuff I won't get the rest of the year that I'm not going to fill up on that.
Okay, so we got to go to 13. Now, this is where it's going to get really divisive because Chris and I both had. I think we got to acknowledge cranberry sauce, and of course, to start with cranberry sauce, we got to bring up. We got to bring up that it's worth having. It's look. I like cranberry sauce. You can have it whether it's the can, whether it's something fresh. Cranberry sauce is great. I'll throw it on the turkey. I'm happy when cranberry sauce gets in anything, and it's also great when it's left over and you get to kind of season some of the leftovers with that. Like I'm so in.
It needs to be higher. It needs to be higher than.
But it needs.
It needs to go above.
Cranberry sauce
opinion.
isn't all of the other things I have above it are things that I like eating on their own.
That's how you do it. That's your order. That's not God's order. Here's my thing. If there was no cranberry sauce at Thanksgiving, it would.
You'd be
to
upset.
me, I would be upset. It would be
You'd be
like
upset.
it wouldn't even feel like Thanksgiving at that point. If there isn't a little bit of cranberry sauce mixing everything like together in the plate, it's like you're going to get chicken nuggets and you're not getting any condiments, and then you're just eating chicken nuggets bare like a freak.
I disagree.
Gravy. Okay, so you've got gravy at 2. So,
No, I got gravy at 8.
Or I'm
My-
sorry, not gravy. You've got cranberry sauce at 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like my counterpoint to that is okay, so that's the hill we die on with cranberry sauce is if it's not there, I'm gonna be upset. If mac and cheese, Brussels sprouts, sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, corn, if none of that's
I
there,
know that's like top 10.
I'm gonna be
stuff.
upset there. Well, that's what you're saying cranberry sauce is though, and that's where I disagree with you. I
I'm
don't
saying
think cranberry sauce
up
is
there.
I don't think it's
I think it's quintessential Thanksgiving food.
If we put it at 10, will you be mad?
If we put it at 10,
What about 10? Just middle of the road.
I'd be okay with 10.
I
if
had
on
it
the
at-
road, let's put it at 8.
I have
At 8?
gravy. I have gravy and cranberry sauce in the double digits because one, gravy on its own, guys. Like, come on, like
It's
you
an
can't.
enhancer.
you know.
care.
It's an
It is,
enhancer.
I don't
but
really care
listen,
if it's there or not.
if you don't have cranberry sauce or gravy at your Thanksgiving dinner, like I'm gonna demand an explanation. I'm gonna say and also be looking inward. I mean, how did we not acknowledge this? How did we not get this done?
cranberry sauce, and I will probably also say gravy, then what you're just having is Sunday dinner. All right?
Sunday
Like, if
dinner.
you're just
Wow,
making,
that's a nice Sunday dinner.
and if you're just
It's a
making
hell of a
turkey
Sunday
and some
dinner.
taters and some Brussels sprouts, it's like, okay, yeah, this is like a weekday, but
Okay,
maybe it's someone's
so-
birthday. But you add cranberry sauce to that, it's Thanksgiving.
So if we're throwing cranberry sauce and gravy up, that means I'm realistically looking to replace it with roasted squash, collard greens, and
think we both have-
rolls. I have low.
We both had collard greens at 10.
I had collard
Well,
greens
I would
at
be-
8, and I'm cool with moving it down.
Yeah,
I'm fine with putting it to 9.
I would.
We can just put it at 10.
We can just put it at 10.
I would put collard greens. If we're moving cranberry sauce up, I had cranberry sauce at 12, so I'm putting in. So I had carrots up higher. Oh well, we've got candied yams that I still had those in my bottom 3.
13, baby.
Yeah, 13.
Candied yams at 13.
Candied yams, 13. Give me can I
we're
get a sweet
looking at
potato
12.
casserole at 12?
No, I think
No.
sweet potato casserole
With the marshmallow
Are
and
you
the pecan on top.
Are you kidding me? Oh!
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay.
No.
You're a savory
Sweet
boy.
potato casserole.
And that's fine. But
The
let
sweet
us
potato
live.
casserole with the pecans and the marshmallows. That to me that's fall food.
That's
Fall
least
food.
that's at least a firm 7
Um,
at the lowest. Because
Okay,
I can't understand about sweet potato casserole that like if you're not a super sweet person, like that's not gonna be on your plate the whole time. That might go more dessert for you.
Sure.
may
But for me,
I bring
yeah.
up rolls? So Chris is putting rolls in the category that Arielle, you were putting cranberry sauce, in that this means Thanksgiving, that you have to have it at Thanksgiving.
Well, what number? I actually think rolls and cornbread, all of us are really similar. Rolls for me was 6 and rolls for you was 5.
I had cornbread at 7, and because I had cornbread at 7,
too.
because I had cornbread at 7 though, I put rolls down because I love rolls. We're getting to food. You got to know Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. This is all food that I am a big fan of. There's no disrespect to any of this food, but like realistically, if I'm putting cornbread at 7 and I've got cornbread at the Thanksgiving dinner, I'm going for that over rolls every time.
To me, they serve 2 different purposes.
Yeah.
And like you were talking about, next day, how you're gonna make like
I know you need the Thanksgiving rolls for that. You need the rolls
Well,
for
even like
that.
just to
Okay.
clean the plate. Like
All
rolls
right.
are a spoon.
Yeah.
Cornbread is like you mix it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, cornbread's
Okay.
like nom,
Like,
and then like the
Okay.
rolls you need
You're
it.
like it's like
So
So
silverware.
you guys were both down on Brussels sprouts, right?
12.
I think Brussels sprouts as a firm 12, just because like the flavor to me, because of how bitter and pungent it is,
Where'd you put it?
throws off the plate a
Dude,
little
Brussels
bit.
sprouts, I have it 4. And
That
Brussels
is
sprouts for me,
wild.
it's not it's not to me saying that Brussels sprouts are having a moment, like there's some fashionable, speed demon receiver or something that's, whatever. Like Brussels sprouts have been putting in solid seasons for years now. You throw bacon on there, you throw candied jalapenos on there as they've been served at
with some balsamic glaze.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh,
no.
like Brussels sprouts are
She's good, but
they're excellent.
I might not do it twice.
Brussels sprouts
if I
can
have
can steal the show.
From some more festive options at hand,
They can steal
I
the
would
show.
do
Don't
something
lie,
else.
Mike.
Brussels sprouts.
Don't
I
lie.
don't have to. Brussels sprouts are.
Steal the show.
Okay, let's go
Mike.
safe and go roasted squash, probably 10 or below. What
12.
do you think? I think
put it at the
roasted
next
squash
spot.
is
I'm
fine.
okay.
12.
I'm okay with roasted squash at 12.
Roasted squash at 12.
All right.
Because when people are going to vote on this, I have a feeling that the higher seeds, at least according to us, are going to be the ones that advance further, unless there's some Cinderella thing that we'll try to mention later.
Well, we'll see here. We'll see. I mean, listen. If you guys want to underestimate Brussels sprouts, I will gladly
I'm fine
use them
keeping
as a
you know what?
dark horse.
You know what? Hot take. Off rip. Brussels sprouts will not make it out of the first round.
Well, we got to see
regardless of what it is.
We got to see who
regardless
it's
of what it is.
Yeah.
I feel that strongly against Brussels sprouts and against this, that regardless of what it's matched up against, Brussels sprouts will not make it out
It's
of the
going down.
first
All
round.
right, lock him in.
It's important
Lock
to
'em in.
acknowledge.
At 11?
No, I'm saying lock you into the
lock me in.
the anti-Brussels sprouts.
Yes, I'm not
look,
anti-Brussels.
Okay. I mean, you sound pretty anti-Brussels sprouts.
Compared
But,
to everything else?
I don't know. Well,
Compared to everything else that's left?
I would like to make an acknowledgement that, if you don't eat meat, Brussels sprouts are probably what you would replace that meat with.
Sure.
Because of this is the highest protein here. It has iron, has all the goodies. But I agree. If we're talking about flavors and talking about when I close my eyes and think about Thanksgiving food, Brussels sprouts to me sours that taste in my mouth. It goes,
no. I feel so at odds. I hope I'm
Mike,
proven wrong.
Mike, I want to ask you, Mike. We have 11 spots left. What would you put at 11? You. Because if you ask me, I'm saying Brussels.
What I would put at 11 is we have to put either, in my opinion, well, look, we don't have to. This is just my personal ranking. It's either collard greens, gravy, cranberry sauce, or rolls. These are all in this tier that, well, actually, collard greens are in a different tier for me. But I think you guys are very, very into cranberry sauce. Everyone is. We all love cranberry sauce.
You guys? Who's you guys?
Us, Chris.
No, that's my 13.
No, that's true.
Okay, then maybe
But I disagree.
Okay, well,
Can I-
I'm cool with
because
collard
it's
green.
because it's so high on Arielle's list. I think we throw collard greens at. We're looking at 11 right now,
Where'd you put it?
Collard greens, I put it at 10.
Okay,
and that's
collard greens at
I had
11.
collard
Yeah,
greens at
that's
10.
Okay, that
So
works.
collard greens
I'm cool with that
at 11.
because y'all feel so strongly about your cranberry sauce, your sweet potato casserole.
No,
that's fine.
Yeah.
No, we can put green bean up. I know the casseroles. I know y'all
So
will love
all right,
your
so
rolls,
on to
casseroles.
10. On to 10.
Give me a sweet potato casserole.
Wait.
I don't like that.
Let's go through.
I don't like that.
Let's go through what's left. Let's
I don't
go
like
through
that.
what's
Look, I
left.
just-
We have macaroni, cranberry sauce, stuffing, sweet potato casserole, mashed potatoes, rolls, cornbread gravy.
Is this the
Those,
roll
those,
spot?
those are what's left, and Brussels sprouts.
Is this the roll spot?
No, this is the Brussels sprout spot.
I said Brussels sprouts was 13.
Well, no, you
So I'm
guys,
not mad at
I'm
that.
Brussels sprouts.
No, you're right. It's
You
your
know what?
four.
No,
It's
no,
your-
no.
it's
You know
your
what?
four.
No,
We
no,
can
no.
put it up
No, it's
more.
okay. That's
It's your
okay.
four.
No, let's put Brussels. You know what? I'm looking at the bracket. This is fully because I'm looking at the bracket. I love Brussels sprouts in the 10 spot. Okay. Brussels
okay.
sprouts is the 10 seed. They're going to go up against 7, which means they're probably going to go up against rolls. The
Hell
way
yeah.
you guys are talking about it. Ah, shoot, they're going to lose against rolls. Dang it.
Brussels sprouts are not making
They're
out
gonna
the first
lose,
round,
they're gonna
period.
Lose, they're going to lose against rolls. Yeah.
You want to put rolls at 9 so it avoids the matchup? Would that make you feel better? Rolls at 9?
Yeah, I think rolls.
Arielle, where'd you have rolls
I had
at?
rolls at 13.
I had rolls at 6 just because of them being a spoon. But you know what? I guess I will say I would probably have like 1 or 2 rolls. Yeah, I'm thinking more like the day after Thanksgiving. I'm actually kind of comfy having rolls not be super high up because for the most part, that's going to be something that's store-bought. That's going to be something that you need.
Yeah,
Well,
for the most
Not
part.
always,
most-
not always. I mean, homemade rolls are going to be excellent
No,
too.
and those
You know what I
snack.
mean?
And
But
if I
but
were to have a homemade
rolls at 9.
call me.
Rolls at 9 is. I mean, I had them at 13. I just think
I'm cool with the rolls,
Rolls-
at 9.
I'm fine with rolls at 9. Rolls at
Rolls
9.
at 9?
rolls are getting by because, you know, they're the kind of like. I don't know. They're like rewatchability, you know? It's just like
Yeah.
you sit back
It's
and you're just
comfy.
like, yeah,
it's comfortable.
No, sometimes, you know, it's like, I really think it's like a spoon. Like sometimes you're like, I just need to put the mashed potatoes, the gravy, the sweet potatoes on this roll real fast.
I'm worried about these side dishes that need to be paired with like a star player.
So you're talking
worried,
about gravy.
I'm worried about these side dishes that need to be paired with a star player. I'm talking about gravy
And cranberry sauce.
and cranberry
I
sauce.
think gravy,
and
here's my opinion,
rolls.
I think cranberry sauce is better than gravy.
That makes sense because you had cranberry sauce at 2. We're not putting. I think we have to. I think cranberry sauce and gravy should not be any higher than 8 or 7.
Here's my opinion, and I'm going to use food science for this. You need acidity to cut up a rich meal. Where is the acidity here? Nowhere, but
The
cranberry
acidity's-
sauce. That's tart. It's giving tart.
Who is thinking about science at Thanksgiving?
You should.
No,
if
thanks-
you're coming in your mouth.
If you
Thanks-
bring up
Thanksgiving,
science,
I'm thinking about hurting myself.
if you think about
That's what I'm
science
doing.
of
It's not
Thanksgiving,
about
I'm over here
pain.
like honk
It's
shoe.
about flavor, and you need the tart. You need the acidity in a meal.
Cranberry at 7, gravy at 8.
I just
that
I
feels
don't.
fine for me, just because I know it was controversial.
Yeah, I mean,
If you ask Ken Kosek, writer here at WBBM News Radio, he will
no,
lose his mind talking about some cranberry sauce.
Here's the
He
problem
loves
is
it so
I
much.
think
Ken!
I think cranberry sauce and gravy being any higher, we're really gonna have some defending to
7
do.
and 8.
We, you know,
I think
like
7 and 8 is fine.
is this sponsored by cranberry sauce?
Well, Arielle
Okay.
put it so
Hi,
high.
it's sponsored by cranberry sauce.
Arielle put it so high. That's the only reason why I'm saying 7
I
for
will
cranberry.
keep going back on this fact that without cranberry sauce and probably without gravy, you're just having a meal.
Okay, cranberry at
I've got
7.
cranberry at 7, gravy at 8.
Gravy at 8.
Okay.
For the record, I had gravy at 3. It's
I had
essential.
You wanna put gravy at 6?
No.
I'm
cool with 8.
I'm glad that I brought us down a little bit. Look, I think those are must-haves at Thanksgiving, but I think we're in a must-have department, and they're the only must-haves that need something else.
Can we do?
But they're also the only thing that, like, if I don't have it with cranberry sauce,
Is
it'll be worse.
it
They're
now?
must-haves.
Is it
They're
now
must-haves.
time for sweet potato?
Sweet potato casserole's fine.
Sweet
at 6
potato
to me.
Because
casserole.
we have 2 casseroles left: green bean and sweet potato. Are we doing
Might I
casserole?
suggest cornbread? I had cornbread at 7.
Oh, true. I have to put cornbread somewhere.
I had cornbread at 6.
I had
The
cornbread
spot
at
that
7.
we're talking about right now.
I had cornbread at 7 too. Well, 10's empty.
I think cornbread has.
Say what?
10. We haven't filled something in for 10.
Brussels
yet.
sprouts.
Oh,
Yeah, we had-
Oh, I thought that we were gonna put it higher because that was your 4.
No,
no,
Mike
no.
said Brussels sprout because he's so confident with Brussels sprouts advancing.
Oh, Brussels sprouts is going up against cranberry sauce. Brussels sprouts has no shot. Brussels sprouts.
That's
has
my point.
It had no shot
Cranberry
against
sauce is
anything.
so good.
You want a Brussels sprouts higher, Mike?
Well, you know what I needed? I needed Brussels sprouts at 4. so that so that Brussels sprouts would go up against yams.
No, you are
That's what I
plotting.
Brussels
needed.
sprouts
That's what I
against
needed.
anything. People are gonna be like, why the?
Watch the tape, you guys. The tape
Okay.
does not lie. Brussels
Okay.
sprouts are delicious.
So you want cornbread under the 2 casseroles that are remaining, right? Mike?
Yeah, I think
Arielle, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I
Cornbread
feel like-
under both casseroles that are left.
Yes. I think cornbread needs to go now before we get into everything else.
cornbread
Because
is great. Cornbread
cornbread
is
is
I'm
excellent.
not okay.
But it's like it's not
and
the
also-
star. These
and-
are the stars. These are our
also,
star players.
I do think
sweet potato casserole's the star player.
Yeah, green bean casserole is.
If it was up to me,
well, I don't.
It'd be-
To be
they'd
fair,
both
I
be
don't.
under
I
rolls.
don't have these. I don't get the star players until my top 3
same.
Wait,
that I
pause.
would
Did
really
you like,
consider our star players.
You like broccoli casserole more than you like green bean casserole?
No,
You like green bean casserole more than you like than broccoli?
do I like green beans better than broccoli?
No, you like
casserole?
which casserole did you like the best?
I
one
had
did you rank
green
highest?
bean casserole the highest at 7.
Okay, perfect. Then let's keep going. Because I was like, because they are equal to me in my mind.
Oh no, they're not equal to me in my. They're not equal in my
But
mind.
for the
either.
record,
I think
I'd
I
have
think
both
green
these
bean
casseroles under 6, 7. Not cranberry
Is a
sauce.
broccoli casserole gonna be like cheddar broccoli soup?
Um,
I'm picturing.
it's not gonna be like broccoli cheddar soup,
No.
but it's gonna have a little bit of that creaminess. I mean, broccoli's excellent. It's just for me, if I went to a Thanksgiving dinner and they had a green bean casserole and a broccoli casserole,
I'm taking a bit of both.
I'll get the broccoli casserole if there's no wine at that one.
Yeah, I'd have a bite off your
Sure.
plate.
If
I'd be
there's
like,
if there's no
try
wine at the
that.
broccoli casserole, then I'll get it. But otherwise, I'm waiting for green bean casserole, and
Can
I'm
we
getting the
do-
French onions.
Okay,
on
then
top.
yeah, then we're gonna keep green bean up.
Let's do
Carry on.
both casseroles now.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, I
one
think
do y'all
that's
want at 4 and which one do you want at 5?
Wait, what's 6? Oh, cornbread.
6 was cornbread.
6 is cornbread. I think green bean at 5 and sweet potato at 4. But I forget. How far down did you have sweet potato?
That's sweet potato at 10.
Yeah, I think we should do sweet potato
All
at
right,
5.
sweet potato at 5 and green bean
4.
at 6.
Because I can-
yeah.
I can understand how for some people sweet potato casserole might feel more like a dessert.
But Chris, you also said that you're coming around on sweet potato casserole.
My mind is open to be changed. It's just the sweetness part. Arielle called me said I had a savory palate earlier.
You're a savory boy.
I'm a
Yeah.
savory boy, and I
Mhm.
agree.
That's
I
okay.
agree.
My favorite pairing. I do like a good sweet and savory meal.
Okay. Top 3 left. We got stuffing, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. Which, if I'm being honest, this was. The
I think
three
did we all?
This is
Oh,
the thing from the
I had this in my top 3. So Arielle,
Yeah.
you had
I'm the
this.
only one.
This is
It's really close though to my top 3,
okay.
which
well,
was macaroni, cranberry sauce, and stuffing.
This makes 3
right.
of my 4.
Where did you have?
Mashed potatoes.
yeah.
I had it under sweet potato casserole because here's the thing.
Where'd you have sweet potato casserole?
4?
Wow.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Because when I'm thinking about like if I'm going and voting, like if like this is what the voting is, it's like mashed potatoes. I agree. They're gonna be on the plate. They're gonna be bringing everything together.
They're going to be
somewhat.
on the plate. They
But-
are going to be on half of the plate.
No, they're gonna be there. They're gonna be there. But like I make mashed potatoes like once a month
Oh.
from
so,
scratch.
So,
So it's
so,
like it's fine for me if I'm as a little treat,
Oh.
I'd probably go for
I'll tell you what. That
That's the
makes
thing.
me that if we were doing Friendsgiving,
yeah.
I would say Arielle should make the mashed potatoes.
Yeah, no,
because if you're making
yeah.
mashed potatoes once a month, I bet they slap.
No, they do.
I bet
They're
they're
great.
awesome. And that's why look, mashed potatoes, they are like it just keeps coming back to sports for me. Where I'm like, mashed potatoes is the one that everybody's getting practice making.
Mhm.
You know, it is just like
It's true.
it is the bread and butter
And again,
in
I've had a
so
bad
many
mashed
people's
potato.
kitchens. And so when it comes time to making the mashed potatoes, the person who's tasked with making mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving is
It's an honor.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's high praise for your mashed potatoes.
That's why it's
and
my
that's
number
why,
1.
well, it's so good. But
I'm fine with it being 2 or 3.
What's 1? That's the
for
question.
me,
At
it's
this point,
stuffing. For me, it's stuffing.
Stuffing should be 1?
Stuffing. and stuffing or dressing, however you make it, that's when I only have it Thanksgiving.
Where'd you have?
I don't. If we want to, you guys have been talking about which one means Thanksgiving. Stuffing to me, that's Thanksgiving. Also, I will say it's the only one that like I don't want to say I'm allowed to make, but
but you're allowed to make it.
Yeah, well, my wife is a significantly better cook than I am, and so she likes doing the stuff, and so like I basically get to do stuffing and am kicked out of the kitchen the rest of the time.
No, and stuffing,
I'm not upset about that.
No, and
but,
stuff. I agree. I'm actually okay. Stuffing macaroni. Macaroni's hard because that's also like we only would have it homemade Thanksgiving time. That's my mama's recipe. I'll be making it this year.
Nice.
Not to pull a dead mom card, but macaroni. Macaroni's pretty high.
Yeah.
But I could be okay with stuffing maybe being number one as well, just because it is so quintessential Thanksgiving, and it is like. That's what you're looking for day of, and that's what you're searching for the day after.
I've had in my
days.
Here's why it's number one for me. No other side dish have I the next day just made myself an entire plate of just mashed potatoes. No, I have made myself. And listen, and I don't love when this happens, but sometimes you're at the tag end of the leftovers, and I'm like, it's just we have a lot of stuffing, so I'll eat an entire plate of stuffing, and that's.
Proposition.
That's not great.
I mean, I will eat a whole plate of macaroni.
Proposition.
Oh yeah, I'll eat a whole plate of mac and cheese.
It's just
but I can't put mashed potatoes lower than 2. I just
Proposition. Stuffing 1, mash 2, mac 3.
The mac and cheese is.
Can we say stuffing 1 in confidence?
I think we could.
Can we say stuffing at 1, stuffing/dressing at 1 in confidence?
I
think I can.
I think that's fine. I agree. I think
that's
that's
where
fine.
Mike had it initially.
I think that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I can. If you guys will give me that, I'm happy to take stuffing at number 1. Mac and cheese. Here's what's so nice about all of these dishes is like these are the ones that I do feel like you have such an emotional connection to.
Yeah.
Like whether it's because my mom is the one who taught me how to make stuffing. Like that's the one that like, when I if we're not visiting them for Thanksgiving, it's like, okay, mom, I've got mom on the phone. How do I make the stuffing and stuff like you were talking about your mom like teaching you to make mac and cheese.
Yeah, like it's in my notes app.
It's just like you've just got it. This is so it's the best. I love this time of year because of this food. Like yeah.
It's almost a battle of nostalgia. And it's hard because of like the respect I have for mashed potatoes could put it at 2, but the flavor of macaroni, I would want to put it at 2.
I think if we put mashed potatoes at 3, no one's got a chance. I mean, mac and cheese. These are powerhouses. These are powerhouses. These are powerhouses. These are your blue bloods like Duke, Kentucky, March Madness. Like this is it. So I think, I would put my vote for mashed potatoes at 2.
You?
But
I would put my vote at macaroni at 2.
Am I breaking the tie?
You're going to break the tie.
My aunt makes, she does baked mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's pretty spectacular. Shout out to my titi. But mashed potatoes, man. That's my one. That was my one on here.
Okay, fine. Mashed potatoes at 2.
It's just it's a workhorse. Mashed potatoes is
these top 3 are going to they're buzz sauce.
Mashed potatoes and mac and cheese.
And at 3.
All right.
Yeah, I will like to say whenever I think of Thanksgiving macaroni, it's always going to be a bake. I've never just had it like in a pot sitting there for Thanksgiving.
Right.
But like the bake.
All right, so we've got the selection is set. We've got our bracket. We've got running it down in the top seed stuffing or dressing. Then 2, we've got mashed potatoes. 3, mac and cheese. 4, green bean casserole. And then 5, sweet potato casserole. 6, cornbread. 7, cranberry sauce. 8, gravy. 9, rolls. 10, Brussels sprouts. 11, collard greens. 12, roasted squash. 13, candied yams. And then we've got 14, broccoli casserole. 15, cream corn. 16, the glazed carrots. Look, the full bracket is going to be live on the WBBM website. We'll do voting on our social media channels. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys all have a happy Thanksgiving.